All right.
I'll make those changes and bring back another recommendation with that added. No
right.
problem.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Moving on. Item B, approve new job description, Form 77, Early Childhood Behavioral Disability Specialist. I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Ms. Barris. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, approve revisions to the 2025-2026 Student Code of Conduct. I need a motion. I couldn't hear. Oh, motion by Ms. Alexis, second by Ms. Barris. Any discussion on this item?
Put your mics on, please.
Particularly the dress code policy. I know it's late in the summer. Are we going to give these parents a little more time to get these uniforms? Because we changed some uniforms with the changing of the schools. And, you know, a lot of people are not able to get I mean, everybody's going for it at one time. And it might be difficult to get those uniforms before school starts. I mean, we got 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before school.
Yeah. Bambi and I for sure have discussed it with some teachers and admin. The recommendation, kind of overwhelming recommendation that Ms. Hood and I have gotten was to not approve the policy as stated, and to allow 9th through 12th to roll with what they have now, with Navy still being accepted in their uniforms, but having the 7th and 8th grade go to the red uniform shirts, because that's kind of been told, we've been talking about that since March, and all of the community meetings, the uniforms have been mentioned, all of the early planning meetings and things they've been mentioned. The outerwear was the contention for the high school, just red. Like they could not, 9th through 12th in the policy, they can't wear red. I don't think that's really acceptable because our school colors are red and black. Spirit shirts, sports, attire, things that have been passed down, siblings that are wearing other siblings' clothing. I think the outerwear is kind of unneeded in the policy. Dr. Crochet, correct me if I'm wrong, but lanyards will be 2 different colors. So 7th and 8th will have one color, 9th through 12th will have one color.
7th and 8th are gonna have black, which should contrast with the red shirts.
Yep.
And 9th through 12th are gonna have red, which should contrast with the shirts, and that'll be an easy identification. And we also have a new policy in place for students who show up without an ID. We have different color temporary IDs as well. So there shouldn't be any confusion there.
Yeah, so if anybody didn't hear, just for the mic, Dr. Crochet said 7th and 8th will have a black lanyard, 9 through 12 will have, what was the color for 9 through 12? Red. And then if they show up or don't have an ID or they need one, they'll also have differentiated colors for students who do not have an ID, which will be the same in 7th and 8th and 9 through 12. And I think that, just that identifier will combat, especially with outerwear, being the price that it is and availability sometimes, plus red's our school color with sports attire and spirit shirts and things like that. That was the real big contention. The red shirts for 7th and 8th, I'm fine with. I'm fine with leaving the 9th through 12th colors as it is for this year and then implementing that change for next year. That way we give a whole school year for that to happen. And I'm sure y'all have had too, but I've had parents call me and say, look, I can't find this. I've had to direct people to go and order things from online or through Walmart or Amazon or Target or something. I'm like, look, here's the link. It's available. Go ahead and order it. It takes 5 minutes. Every size is available, even red jackets without hoods on them, quarter zip jackets, full zip jackets. You can find them in a few minutes and order them. They are still available. It's just people may not know where to go look for them. So we've had to direct people that have called on where to find them. I will say, if it is a financial burden for any of the families, because we are very late on this should have been done earlier, and that's the board's fault for not asking for this earlier and for getting it earlier. If anybody has a financial problem where they cannot purchase uniforms, the parish does have resources. We do have nonprofits and organizations in the parish that give away uniforms and purchase uniforms every year. I would encourage those parents and families to contact the schools, and we provide those resources to them as well. Yeah, our superintendent's office. We can direct those families to the resources where they can get those uniforms donated or purchased for them. There's grants that have already been approved and applied for in the parish for certain organizations where they're purchasing uniforms. I know there's at least 3 to 4 stores and organizations that have uniforms available right now for free. And the school office has those resources available as well. So,
What happens when they sell a Spirit shirt at the high school and it has red in it, so the 9th through 12th graders can't wear that?
The students will be allowed to wear the Spirit shirts. And I think that's what the, I guess, substitute motion would be, that we would allow the high schools to continue as is. So those Spirit shirts and things like that they will purchase, they still would be able to wear. We just definitely need to make sure that we able to identify the middle school kids versus the high school kids. And I know the outerwear is an issue as well. So I think if we approve this tonight with those recommendations, we can make sure that the outerwear is not an issue. As long as it's school approved, as long as it, we don't want a EA or a Santa Monica, a jersey or anything like that being worn on our campuses. We want Assumption High School outerwear. And then I think the school can kind of divide the kids up and identify the kids based on that with the lanyards and also with the color of the undershirt, yeah.
Called you this week. I've had several calls where parents would like to see another color for pants, especially for the young ladies at the high school. So I was just wondering if we could add a color to the policy also.
I mean, that's a decision that, the board would have to make, so.
I'm going to read the language in this policy so I can propose a substitute motion. Give me just a second. We'll pause for a second.
The bottoms this year. I was just explaining this, and that's our conversation.
Mr. Calabro, this is a full policy, so in order to make a change to the revision in here, we would have to make a substitute, reject the policy, and take it up again.
So how much of the policy itself has been changed based upon this document? Because I don't have a track version. So you just wanted to commit to one item, the dress code issue?
Yes.
Or were we looking to all?
It's the dress
Just the
code.
dress code.
I think you can accept everything as is with the exception of the dress code, and then make your motion include whatever provisions you want based upon your changes that you're asking.
Okay, gotcha.
I have a question other than dress code. Are the alternative students going to be allowed to ride the regular ed bus again?
Currently, right now, the answer is yes. We did make an adjustment that they're not going to the high school this year. They're going to get dropped off at the alternative school. I am researching alternatives to that because, with our bus drivers right now, we have a set amount of bus drivers and we have routes already established. So there are conversations about figuring out a way that those kids do not ride the bus with the regular kids at all. But as of right now, the answer is yes. But we did make some adjustments where they're not going to be dropped off at the high school and mingling with the kids. They're going to be dropped off. Only those buses that have those kids will be dropping those kids off at the alternative school.
That taking time is 7 at the alternative school?
Yes, you're right after the high school take-in, around the same time, yeah. What you thinking?
Any other questions? Okay.
No.
I'm going to make a substitute motion to this item to accept the code of conduct as written with this change to Assumption High School's colors, that they be carried over from this year's code of conduct to the 2025-26 code of conduct, and the outerwear provision eliminated for change. I need a second.
Second. So move.
Second by Mr. Honore. All opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, I would ask that we put this message out through all outlets through J Campus, through everywhere. That way we're all on the same page from the school district first thing in the morning. Can we make that happen? Okay, all right. If we have any reminds already set up or anything set up through classrooms already, I don't know if that happens yet in the summer, but everywhere we can send that message, let's please send it so that everybody's on the same page, please. All right. Under item D, approve LSBA school board member training, keys to good governance, effective governance, strategic planning, collaborative relationships, policies, budget, and assembly presentation. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Orso. Second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Do we have a definite date?
September
19th.
19th, yeah.
All right, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next, section 6, budget. Item A, approve 2025-2026 fiscal year budget. We did have a public hearing immediately preceding this meeting to hear any public comment on the budget. The budget was presented and advertised as per procedure. We did not have any comment in that hearing. Mr. Darrell, would you like to provide any other information before we take a vote on? All right, I need a motion to approve the budget for 2025-26.
So move.
Moved by Ms. Orso, second by Mr. Lewis. All in favor?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So since the federal funds are being held back for certain federal funds like Title I-C, Title II, Title III, how are we budgeting that? Because I know we got an email saying, take it out of your Title I budget, like for professional development.
That's in
The guidance that we have received from the State Department thus far is everything is wait and see. As far as I know, the allocations that we originally received, there was no severe deduction on anything other than mainly Title III, which is migrant education. Part of the current administration is targeting the policy on immigration. That affects us almost null because we belong to a consortium with St. John. We're talking about $5,000. The general fund can absorb that. Other than that, there are no costs that affect us that I know of thus far from the federal agencies on down. There is no disruption in any funding that I am seeing.
And it's the same as well. I haven't heard anything as far as a complete deduction or they're retracting those funds that they have already allocated to us. I haven't
And
heard anything just yet.
Dr. Brumley did put out a message about 3 weeks ago when some of this started, and it was more of they do not have any information on hand at that time, and until further notice, there are no changes.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
all right.
All right, we have a motion. Thank you, Mr. Darrell. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Under item B, adopt resolution to approve Louisiana compliance questionnaire for audit engagement. I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis. Second by Ms. Alexis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, approve proposal of services for National Institute for Excellence in Teaching and IET for the 2025-2026 school year.
So, second.
Moved by Ms. Orso, second by Ms. Barris. Any questions?
I'd just like to point out that our PLCs are basically planned from our NIET coaching
Yep.
sessions.
Everybody said sir. Nodding.
That's good.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item D, approve proposal for Gallopade for the 2025-2026 school year. Need a motion?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Washington. Any discussion?
What was this for again?
Yeah.
Ms. Kathy, you
Dr.
want
B,
to come up?
is this
Yep.
a new one?
No, this is, the next three items are all curriculum-based. Go ahead, Ms. Kathy.
Okay,
Go ahead.
all right,
Okay.
cool.
Gallopade is the 3rd through 8th grade social studies Tier 1 curriculum that will be implemented, and we receive federal funding for professional development, so that's what this would be for.
So this is new curriculum. Okay.
Finally.
But yeah, because we didn't have a solid curriculum. Yeah. And also, just to note that, just like Ms. Cathy said, these are funds that actually, no cost to the district. We actually wrote in our
Super app.
app for these, so
Yeah.
it's not costing the district anything.
All right.
A note on the super app too, since you made the comment, I sat in one of those classes at Teacher Leader on super app. You guys are amazing for getting all that done. I mean, Jesus. That was something that I learned, and I was sitting there like, wow, okay, awesome. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Item E, approve proposal for Great Minds for the 2025-2026 school year. I need a motion. Moved by Ms. Orso, moved by Ms. Dugas, second by Ms. Orso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item F, approve proposal for Edu 2020 for the 2025-2026 school year. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Barris, second by Ms. Alexis. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item G, accept bids from Ben Martinez for surplus property. Moved by Ms. Orso. Second by Ms. Alexis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item H, approve proposal from Fast Signs for purchase of hallway signs from Assumption High School. I need a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Dugas, second by Mr. Washington. Any discussion? I do have one. I looked through the images on here. Is that the images in this, and I was supposed to call you Dr. Crochet, but I did not do that. The images that were generated, Fast Signs, generated those images, or that was something that we sent to get printed?
So that was a mistake early on in the agenda. There was a rough draft that was a PowerPoint.
Okay,
So the original, not the original, but the official ones were labeled as suite 1 and suite 2.
uh-huh.
That's the official from Fast Signs, and I think based on the color of the walls.
Okay.
We're gonna go with suite 2, just to put some contrast on the walls.
Yeah, it looks different than when I first looked at it, because the original ones were, yeah.
ROTC, we put ROTC on that task of, I sent them in some information on wayfinding,
Uh-huh.
information.
Yeah.
So they went around the school and they labeled where every sign should be. And then Fast Signs came and took that information and developed, what you see in those two samples.
Perfect. That was why I asked the questions. I looked at the files Friday, and that's why I asked the question. But this looks great. Perfect. Awesome.
I'll send it to Mr.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Thank you. Item I, approve one-time retention and recruitment stipend for the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Barris, second by Ms. Dugas. Any discussion?
What are the amounts, Doc?
We're doing a $3,000 stipend for our certificated teachers and our professional staff, as well as $1,500 for our support non-certificated staff. Also, any retirees who start the school year off with us will receive these funds as well, whether it's a $3,000 or $1,500. If you're on leave, obviously you will not receive, leave without pay, you will not receive anything. And then also if you're on any type of sabbatical, currently receiving 65% of your salary, then those people will receive 65% of the amount.
Okay, thank you.
I do want to make the comment too that this is again, a one-time retention and recruitment stipend. We are still analyzing and reviewing the salary schedule and the study from Lean Frog and working to update and comprehensively update the salary schedule. So I do want to make that comment to make sure that you guys know that the leadership team, our financial department, the board is still looking at that to make the change and make the update as a comprehensive in the whole district. We want to make sure that's clear that we're still moving forward with that. All right.
Indeed.
All right. Did we take a vote on that? We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. J, receive June 2025 sales and use tax report.
Sales tax report for the month of June 2025. Total returns processed, 2,210. Monthly returns, 1,311. Quarterly, 88. Irregular, 795. Semi-annual, 16. Total number of online filers are included in the total, 2,048. Total receipts of the June 2005 collections are $1,354,149, a decrease of $62,137 from this time last year. Percentage change is minus 4%. Total collections less audits, a percentage change of minus 7.14%. Total collections less Office of Motor Vehicles and audits, percentage change is minus 7%. The school board received $673,321, a decrease of $31,121, a percentage change of minus 4%. The 92 bond issue received $134,570, a decrease of $6,316 from this time last year, which is a percentage change of minus 4%. The delinquent rate for the month of June 2025 is 7%. Industries that had an increase or decrease as compared to June 2024, industries experiencing an increase were food, apparel, general merchandise, equipment, contractors, miscellaneous, and unclassified. Industries that experienced decrease were automotive, service, manufacturers, and utilities. Audit revenues for the month of June 2025 were $42,750 compared to June 2024 were zero. Audit sales for the month of June 2025, $266,177 as compared to June 2024, $294,728, a percentage change of minus 9.69%.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Darrow? Thank you very much. All right, next, Section 7, Item A. Section 7, Facilities and Grounds, Item A. Approved certificate of substantial completion for the project known as Assumption High School B Building HVAC Project. I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Alexis. Any discussion? Explanation?
Dwayne, you're gonna give us an update when you come up for the B building. You're gonna give us an update?
HVAC?
Okay, right.
HVAC,
Okay,
yeah.
come on in.
Good evening. My name's Robert Utley, mechanical engineer on this project. The contractor is substantially complete on the project. He has provided air conditioning in all the classrooms, so he's got all those systems up and running. There are some punch list items that we have out there that he has to resolve. There's some interconnection between the controls of that building with the two-story, which we're coordinating between the two groups at this point. Besides that, there's just some minor punch list items, cleanup, things like that, that they need to resolve.
Have we given them a deadline to complete the punch list?
Yes, sir. There is, by law, there's specified times for punch list items, and then clear lien certificate also.
Gotcha. All right,
So that's all dictated in law.
gotcha.
And I think we need to note that this building will be available for our students to be in by the start of school.
Good.
That is correct.
Any other questions for Mr. Utley? Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, approve scope of work for pressure washing and painting and security project at Pierpont Elementary to go out for bid. I need a motion. Moved by Ms. Dugas, second by Ms. Orso. Any discussion or explanation needed on that? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, approve opinion of cost and plans for security project at Bayou Lewis Elementary to go out for bid. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Barris, second by Ms. Alexis. Any discussion or explanation needed on that one?
No, I just want to say we included in this project, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Dwayne, to fix the foundation. So this is part of this project. We want to make sure that we not only address the security side of it, but also the foundation. So I just want the board and the community to know that the foundation repairs are part of this project.
Awesome. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, receive update on projects associated with consolidation move from Dwayne Oquan, Maintenance Supervisor. Mr. Oquan.
Good evening.
Hello, sir.
So on the consolidation project, we're about 75% complete on moving the furniture and supplies to the schools. We're gonna go into phase 2 this weekend and finish all the loose ends of things that were missed or wasn't tagged properly or wasn't put on the list for the movers to move, things that may have been missed in the first go around. So we went around to the schools. Miss Kathy visited some schools as well. And we seen some things in places that were just left behind. It wasn't on the list, so the guys didn't know they were there. So we went back, we developed a second list to clean up all the loose ends. Those things will be moved this weekend. The curriculum materials, Miss Kathy has packed all of those for the schools. Those are going to be picked up this weekend as well. And they're going to be delivered to all the schools she has them all marked to where they go at each site. So we're going to deliver all that this weekend as well. The N building, we're moving some supplies from the N building to the B building since it is complete and we can get in there. Custodians were in there cleaning that building this week. So we're going to start moving their stuff from the N building to the B building to get some of those things moved. And there's more materials that need to be moved into the N building in that second phase. There's no moves going on in a 2-story building right now. We're still waiting for that building to be completed. So we're just kind of hanging on, waiting for that. As far as the projects associated with the consolidation, we're about 70% with construction projects, being some bathrooms at Belrose Primary. There's some rooms that we had to split and make smaller rooms, not smaller rooms. We took ROTC, we made 3 classrooms and an office space. We made a reception area, we're creating this reception area in the N building. We divided, we made a sensory room for some special needs areas in multiple schools, we've done that. And the Bayou Lewis building, we're waiting for those moves. So that building should be in place next week. And we should be able to get into it right at the end of this month, maybe early August, to start making the move to get everything into the Bayou Lewis school. So we're gonna kind of play that by ear, but I do have a contractor lined up for that. And I also spoke to a contractor as far as all the maintenance issues that we have and some loose ends we have in maintenance with all the consolidation work and everything going on. So we're gonna, next week, we're gonna put a list together of all the loose ends and things that we need to get done before school. And then I have a contractor who's gonna come in and assist us with that starting on the 28th. So we should be ready when school starts. The only 2 holdups right now is the Bayou Lewis project and the 2-story building.
I see that people are still there working on air conditioners in Pierpont. Are they gonna be complete?
No, ma'am, their contract extends past school. Their contract extends past the beginning of school.
So that won't be ready?
Mr. Frank Thompson's here to give an update on that, exactly what's going on with that, give you a time frame on that. But it probably won't be completed at the beginning of school, but it's in that they have days in their contract. I mean, they're not over contract, it's just part of what it is. So if we need to at the beginning of school, I'm gonna give Miss Nicole, we'll see where we at, and then we could just put the kids in another area and then move them in when the work is complete, instead of working around the children. I mean, equipment is just taking forever to get in. I mean, they're working there, they got most, I'll let Mr.
Okay.
Frank fill you in.
I'll wait till the question.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, any questions? All right, thank you.
I want to say thank you to your team for busting their behinds all summer. Thank you very much. Almost spoke out of turn. Sorry about that. All right, next item E, receive update on current projects from Tommy Isan with DDG.
Yes, the only project I had was with the BioLos modular, and Dwayne just updated you guys
Okay.
on that. The building should arrive on the 22nd, next Tuesday.
Gotcha.
We have 2 more projects that we approved tonight. We should turn around on that to try to get it out to bid. I know we want to try to get those done as soon as
The
possible.
BioLos project, I think we could turn around in probably 2 months, so pretty quickly. The Pierre Park project might take a little bit longer. Let's say that's, we'll go out to bid, let's say 4 months, so like beginning of December. I don't want to push the bid into the holiday period, so let's say December on that.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that whatever projects we have that's coming up, that's why we starting early.
Yes,
'Cause
that's
we
great.
want to try to get them done before the end of the school year.
This is the excellent time to start designing on a project so that we go out to bid before the Christmas break and have those contractors on board in the spring.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. That's the pressure washing as well as the security project and the fencing included. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
All right, next item. F, approve change order number 25-1106-1 for the project known as BLP School Modular Building Site Work. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Barris. Second by Ms. Alexis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item G, receive update on current projects from Thompson Luke.
Good evening, Frank Thompson, mechanical engineer. My project is Pier Part Elementary, like you had asked for information on. Dwayne covered a lot of it, but basically we're through with all the demolition. We've roughed in for all the new units. Electrical's roughed in. The delay was waiting for equipment. Good news is we received the first shipment today, the contractor did, and he expects to get the rest of it hopefully by the end of the month. If no hiccups with the delay, by the end of August, they're anticipated being completed with having everything installed, beginning startup, and being able to start getting things ready to turn over.
Gotcha. So,
How many classroom disinfectants to be?
It's,
I want to say, we only had classroom-wise, I want to say maybe 3 classrooms, because we have some office space and a storage area in that particular section, but not as many classrooms. Do you want to add to that, Frank? Go ahead.
it was half of the French building. We're taking care of, if you're looking at the front of the building, the left half, we're doing some fresh air work there, so still has AC. We're working on the fresh air portion of it, and it's the right half, and the superintendent's correct, it's about 3 classrooms. A lot of it's admin type spaces, corridors and such.
all right. Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frank.
All right, next item H, receive update on current projects from CJ Savoy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I emailed you all a project update report on all of the projects. Before I begin, I do want to extend my gratitude to Dr. Crochet and his faculty and staff. As you all are aware, that most of the projects that we have under have all been taking place on the Assumption High campus. And with the weather that we've been facing and the various things going on, his faculty and staff have been outstanding with their patience, as well as keeping us informed of something, of things that arise. I just wanted to take a moment just to thank them because, look, anytime you take on this many projects on your main campus and you're in the heart of your main campus, we're displacing students, we're displacing faculty. We are aware of that, and we are aware of the difficulty it places on them, and they have been exemplary to us in helping us get this project done and completed. And I just want to take that moment to thank them. Well, for starters, we'll start with Assumption High Building A exterior wall rehabilitation. And I'll go over the brief of the report, and as you know, further items down on the agenda, we will address the change order or whatever those actions deemed necessary, but I'll go over the report as it stands. Jones Construction is continuing work on that project. They have completed the exterior brickwork on the courtyard side of the building, as well as they began installing the HVAC units. This was delayed extensively by the weather. I mean, they can't be expected to install brick when rain is enforcing, and then it's a step-by-step process. He can't install the AC units because they have to acid wash the brick. We can't have that interfere with the installation. So in order to help expedite the project, it was discussed, and it was actually brought up by your maintenance supervisor, Mr. Dwayne, that we actually brick one side of the building, get those units in, and then move to the other side, get those units in so that we could take a partial occupancy of the building and start allowing the faculty to start moving in these buildings, because we realize we are at that 11th hour. And so the main focus at this point in time is get in the building and get it get a partial substantial completion, allow you all to take occupancy of that building. Cosmetics, exterior work, those things are going to be going on when school begins, and we will have to coordinate around those students, around those faculties and so forth. And so we're aware of that, but our main focus right now is get in that building. And as of the last reports from the contractor, and he's also here tonight, and he may be able to speak to some of that, but our goal is by the end of next week, he would have cleaning crews coming in to have the building cleaned. At that point, we'll have majority of the ACs should be up and running, and then that way the faculty can start taking possession, start moving into those classrooms, start mobilizing equipment and so forth. We had an on-site meeting this morning. I had members of my staff there. I was not there personally. However, I was in contact with them, and I'm aware of that. They did a walkthrough, and we're going to continue that. I have been to the building every day for the past month or so, just checking on things. We want to make sure that it keeps moving. Yes, there have been some hiccups, some difficulties, but we're working through those. Majority of those right now, unfortunately, are caused by the weather, and there's not a whole lot that can be done about that. But the contractor is working with us. We know that there's extensive work to be done on the outside to clean up the grounds, get them back in shape. Those are cosmetics. Our focus is get the inside ready, get those students ready for school, and get those things done. We do have a plan moving forward to achieve that. And as of right now, confirmation came in from the contractor. He is still on track with that plan to get kids and faculty in that building starting at the end of next week.
I will say that the initial ask of us for that was for the safety issue of the grounds outside of the buildings. It's not so, we understand construction is going to be chaos sometimes, but just the safety of the elevation of the ground, the divots and the materials that are around and laying around. I haven't visited this week yet, but I heard it looks substantially better.
Yes.
A week and a half, 2
Contractor
weeks
did
ago,
step up.
so-
They did a cleanup of the exterior. Got the grass cut. Got it where it was in a better position. We're not where we need to be yet, but we are headed in the right direction. Our main focus, as I said, though, is get that interior done and then make sure it's safe. And then we will then get the building exterior and so forth finished. With that said, We did request an upgrade to the front canopy system to all aluminum. That is a change order that will be further down on the agenda tonight. We are recommending that upgrade to aluminum for the following reasons. It provides, aluminum is a better product. You're going to have a lighter, first of all, the canopies and all will be lighter. The color and all, it will be baked into the finish, so there is no painting involved. Also, in switching from steel to aluminum, there's no rust. There's no, the maintenance cost of this canopy in the long run is greatly reduced. We didn't have this initially in this design. If you all recall, this project has bid 3 times, and it was rejected twice because of available budget. So by law, in order to go back out to bids with the same plans or with the same things, we have to make changes. We have to make reductions. One of those cost savings reductions was we put in there to have the canopy possibly constructed out of steel. It wasn't ideal, but it would hopefully get us to a budgetary standpoint moving forward. Now, as I understand it, there are possibly maybe some budget available that this upgrade, if you would be put back in. I would recommend having these aluminum canopies constructed that way. It gives a much more aesthetic look, and it is also in line with the renderings and all that were presented to the school. So we'll address that further down. Secondly, the next project on the list is the Assumption High School painting and repairs. This contract is moving along very well. As it stands right now, he still has to complete the painting of the boys' gym, and there is still touch-ups and various things. The last major building that he will have to hit will be when the metal arrives for the industrial arts building. We're having to change the metal completely on that building as part of that project. We're waiting for those materials to come in. Yep. Once those do come in, we will be addressing that building. Of course, he's still going to continue. You'll see the school drastically change as we go. If you've gone across just within the last week, the boys' gym, outside of it has drastically changed. We are moving in the direction of those renderings that you see. There's still going to be accent signage. There's still lettering to put on buildings. There's still other things that are happening. We're getting base coats. The final coats are not even on some of the buildings yet. We still have the striping renderings and stuff that were up from our original mock-ups. Those will be covered, and the building will be the final coat will be in accordance with the renderings presented to this board as approved. With that, also, there is a change order coming with regards to the interior doors, the interior of the exterior doors. This project, when it was bid, was a coating of all of the exterior. We did not include the interior of the exterior doors at the time because we have a separate contract for the changing of hardware and the changing of several doors. At that time, it would be the coordination between those two is it's going to become a he said, she said of whose responsibility is it to lock this door or do this door. So now we're at a comfortable point. We came back to the painting contractor and said, please give us your price to coat the interior, to repair any holes made by the installation of hardware and so forth. And so we've gotten a cost from him, and that we're recommending moving forward with that. That's why that was separated from that original price, and you didn't see it because we don't know how many holes we were going to be dealing with until after the mechanical contractor had put in all of the, the contractor had put in the hardware and so forth that we could assess, see how many we were dealing with. So that is one change order that we will be recommending. Next is the exterior door renovations. This project, we did a walkthrough on June 26th. He had completed partially some of the doors. We began punch listing those doors, as well as now they are continuing to move to other sections of the building. As the doors arrive, he will get them installed. We do have some change orders on that particular project due to unforeseen conditions. Just to touch on these, and I'll go in further depth when we address those change orders is, for instance, when we removed the framing of the doors entering the gym area as well as to our ag building, the anchoring supports, if you can, that fit in between the walls completely came out, along with all of the mortar between the two. You have in particular with the gym, you have a brick face on one side and then a split CMU face on the other, and there's an air gap in between there that is joined by wall ties. That was originally grouted in with anchors for those doors. Well, when those doors were removed, all of that grout failed and came out. We have some pictures that I included in the report so that you can kind of see what was being dealt with there, but that will have to be addressed. Additionally, we had some doors when we removed hardware, when we started removing hinges, there was extensive deterioration to the frame. So those particular ones, we have a deduct change order for the hardware only, and we're recommending that increase to the next line item, which was to do a full change of the door and frame. So those are the things that you will see. But that project is moving forward. Again, they're going to be close to, some of them will be overlapping into school starting, but we will work around the door schedules. The main doors will be in so that we can secure the facilities, work around school time. We can work weekends, we can work days, and not try to interrupt or have as least amount of interruption to any students, faculty, and anything else with regards to that. Assumption High School canopy replacement. This is the rear canopy behind the boys' gym, as well as the canopy that ties the two-story building back to the metal L building, which would be on the other backside of the tennis courts. We delivered those plans to administration. Once we have approval, we will be seeking construction prices, construction bids, and be presenting that to you all for approval. Again, that project will have to be coordinated around school time. And most of those, depending on metal deliveries and so forth, we may even be able to schedule them during breaks, holidays, and so forth for the final installation. With the high school canopy replacement, what has taken place, if you noticed, is we were able to complete the asbestos abatement on all of the asbestos panels. Mr. Nakant, Josh was able to identify some cabling that we were able to eliminate that was, if you go out there, it was hanging on top of the original canopy. There is one fiber optic cable that we have to leave in place. In the design, we have designed a cable tray specifically for that, as well as some temporary supports to be put under so that we can complete the demolition. The scope of that project increased somewhat because we went from a simple walkway canopy that connects the A building to trying to remember the name of the building, the adjacent walkway that goes back to the girls' gym. If you recall, that was a single about 8 foot wide walkway. Now the new canopy proposal will actually go all the way back to the gym and create a covered patio area, if you will, for the students. So we're going to be also removing all of the uneven concrete surfaces and so forth that are all back there. While we're there, under this project, we also are addressing some drainage issues that are plaguing the current courtyard that if you go in the back of the teacher's parking lot, you'll see there's a number of drains there. They're filled with limestone. It's not draining properly. So we're addressing all of that within these plans. And those, as I said, those have been delivered. As far as the Assumption High School welding shop and grounding repairs, we had originally delivered plans on this back in April. And at that time, we were simply removing the welding grounding machines are currently grounded to the building. They have extensive corrosion on that building as part of the reason that's one of the buildings we're changing the wall panels. The total corrosion is not all 100% attributed to the welding machines being grounded to the building, but that is not helping the situation. It is creating some sort of electrolysis and expediting or exacerbating that corrosion to the building. So the goal there is to remove that grounding from the building and still redesign the grounding system within the NEC codes. I have hired GCU engineers. They're an electrical engineering, they have an electrical engineering division. They did a walkthrough of the building this morning. The reason this is taking a little bit longer is we've been trying to do any research. There are no current electrical drawings that we're aware of and haven't been able to come across any. The electrical engineer will be reaching out to school maintenance supervisor to see if there's any information, but as far as that goes, he did do a walkthrough and is investigating those electrical facilities. So he in fact sent me an email today with some recommendations. We're going to proceed with those plans. Once I have them completed, they will be turned over to administration for approval. Belrose Primary Single Point Entry Project. We were task ordered that project in June. The design is currently underway. We've reached out to maintenance. We're going to be accessing that building to take some existing measurements so we can get that project designed and back to you as quickly as possible. And that covers the overview of all of the projects under our purview. I realize I'm speaking rather quickly. We've covered a lot of ground, so please feel free to stop me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them.
Do we have any comments that the contractor wanted to make? Because I know they're here. Is there anything you need to lend, yeah, Dr. Crochet?
And I know certain protocols and procedures have to be followed, but I think it's important to know that with that back canopy not there, when students travel from the ag department, from the welding shop, there is no cover now for them to get into the gym or to the A building. So with that cover not there, they're gonna get wet. So I understand you got the time limits and requirements, but as soon as we can get that, our students are gonna have a covered walkway to get from one side to the other. So I think it's important that we understand how important that canopy is, because right now, they're gonna get wet.
One thing I would recommend with that, once we have obtained our prices and know a timeline on the installation of that canopy, I may do an amendment to the drawings when we go out to bids we left the existing steel structure from the old canopy in place. We removed the asbestos panels. We left the steel structure in place because it is what's supporting the cabling and so forth that's traversing from classroom to classroom. So until the new one is built and the cable tray is there, I left that structure in place. What I would recommend at this time is we can investigate the possibility of putting up some type of temporary canopying, even if it's a temporary plywood covering or something, utilizing that existing structure so that when school starts, if the aluminum canopy cannot be put in place, at least the students will have something that is covered to transfer from building to building and not be in the weather.
Okay,
Anybody have questions for Mr. Salwan?
I'm good.
All right, thank you, Joseph. Next item, item I, review and approve change order number 4 for the project known as Assumption High School Building A exterior wall rehabilitation.
Yes, this is the change order being presented for the aluminum upgrade. This would change all, and I realize I didn't bring the renderings tonight, but if you all recall, this includes the canopy. If you look at the front of the school now, there's a canopy that extends out from the center breezeway out towards the public drive, and then extends both in each direction. This would replace all of that canopy. Additionally, there's an aluminum canopy that is proposed between that canopy and what would be now your new single point entry in the 2-story that was completed previously by DDG, as well as the large bus canopy with the school the school name and so forth, as you all seen in the rendering. This would be converting all of that to all aluminum with the baked-in coating.
What is this change order amount?
The change order amount is $219,115.
What is the cost of you said it would reduce maintenance? How long would it take us to spend $219,000 in maintenance to that steel structure? How long would we have to, would we realize that money?
That's something I would have to investigate as far as the length, but,
Barring any catastrophic hurricane damage or anything like that?
you know,
You said corrosion, rust, that kind of stuff. How long?
that's a judgment call. I would have to look at the materials. The difference is with the steel, is, you're dealing with the drains. That's an exterior drainage system, so aluminum, we can move all of that interior. And you're not painting it. You're never, once it's up, you're not painting it again. You're not addressing it any further.
We're not painting, but if it's damaged, we would have to replace it, right? If some of it were damaged, we're not painting because it's baked in, but if it was damaged or cosmetically ruined, we would have to replace it instead of painting it.
As it would if it was out of any material, if it's damaged by storm, that's something that would have to be addressed.
Did you say we went with the steel because of the price? We bidded it out 2 or 3 times and
Correct.
so why was the steel put in the first, because of the budget? I feel like this is a lot of money.
Yes.
A lot of, it's a big change order.
The other option would be to, this item is line itemed in the contract. The contractor has a line item for it. The other option would be to deduct the steel from that item if you still wanted to go with the aluminum option, and then that could be bid out as a separate project or a separate price to see if you could get a comparable cost that may be lower. From the standpoint of, I can't guarantee you that you're going to get a lower price. This was the price that was presented to us by the contractor, currently on site completing the project.
The total amount would be how much?
The total amount, his original price, if you go back, let me go back to my report to just
Total
reference.
contract amount with the revision will be 1.9 million.
Correct.
Up from 1.6, around 1.6 to 1.9.
Right now, you're at, that's correct, you're at you're just under 1.7 right now in total cost. Your total cost would go to $1,935,000.
So 1.7 for a canopy?
No, this is the total.
I'm sorry, 1.7 is the whole project, I apologize.
Project, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1.7 is the whole current project. You're going to 1.9. No, I'm not.
I'm looking at the numbers.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, would you like to provide an opinion on that? Would you like to provide an opinion to the board on that?
Who's there?
I said, would you like to provide an opinion to the board on this upgrade?
I apologize. I didn't hear
I
your
said,
question.
would you like to provide an opinion to the board on this change order for the $219,000 for the aluminum upgrade? Is that something that you would recommend?
I don't understand the aluminum upgrade when the original design was a steel canopy. So if it wasn't the original, if we designed a steel canopy, but it was not a great idea or a great design, so we should go with aluminum. I'm confused by that to start with. So it's not my decision, it's a board decision. When I spoke to Mr. Savoy, my comment to Mr. Savoy was the board wanted the rendering that you presented to them, which is an aluminum rendering. It was designed in steel. It was said that he could build it out of steel and have the same look as the steel. We had some issues with the design. From day one, we kicked it around back and forth. The poles were sitting on top of the concrete with half-inch anchor bolts, which wouldn't support the canopy. There was some other design issues and questions, so we've been going back and forth. So I said, well, what if we did it in aluminum just to see what the cost would be? We sat with him and we looked at the numbers and it was way off. So I was like, I don't think the board's gonna go for that. We want the rendering that's there. I think it can be constructed out of steel if it's designed properly. I don't see a reason. I mean, there's tons of steel in the school. We're painting it now. I don't disagree that aluminum canopy would be a better product. I can't tell you why it wasn't that way to begin with.
Well, that's how it was presented to us initially.
It was presented to you as a rendering as an aluminum canopy. It was said that it could be designed with that look in steel. I haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen the steel rendering to look like the aluminum. I've never seen one that way. I'm not an engineer, but
the product that was presented to us,
in the rendering,
what we approved was based
aluminum.
on it being aluminum.
Correct. The product that was bid was something different than what you've seen in the rendering. So,
This is, what we have now is still functional. The only
the
functionality.
one that's there?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
we
only-
didn't do anything with the canopy that's standing in front of the school.
The functionality we're gaining with this is the bus canopy for rain over the buses, and then the canopy going to the new single point entry. That's what we're gaining out of it, right?
You're gonna gain a higher canopy, it's gonna be wider, it's gonna go further out,
Yeah.
so people can pull in and drop, multiple cars can drop off, or one bus behind the other.
And we're saying that this is, according to Mr. Salvo, this is a line item that can be postponed or taken out of that agreement. That way we can kind of get together, because it seems like it's a mess. It's a mess of
It definitely is a
miscommunication.
mess.
It's a mess of miscommunication. It's a mess of something was presented to us, and now it's not what was presented that we looked at, so.
My opinion, since you asked for it, would
Yeah.
be to take it out and have a canopy designed just to fit the front of the school. A nice canopy, a nice entrance. We can do the big grand, it was supposed to be part of the big grand entrance to the front of the school just to bring the school to life. Because I mean, it's old school,
agree.
so that was gonna be the centerpiece. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's happening. But
Centerpiece was moved because of the price from the beginning, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
That centerpiece was removed because of the price. That's
Just the material.
went from aluminum to steel because of the price.
We asked for this to be the grand scheme in front of this high school, was this main entrance. Why it was this drone, and why it was delivered to you in aluminum and drawn in steel, that's not for me to answer. I just think the aluminum would look better, but, I mean, it's not my choice to make that. That is my opinion. I do prefer the aluminum. I think it would last longer. It would be a better product. But all other questions are not for me to answer. So,
Thank you for your input.
I mean, we have a steel canopy that's been there since 1958, if that helps with anything. I mean, it can be taken care of, it can be painted, it can be kept up. So, I mean, that's what's there now, just to give you a reference. I mean, it is a steel canopy now.
Yeah.
So it can be constructed in steel. Where you get that look, I don't know. So it's just a decision you all have to make if you want to go. I mean, maybe Mr. Sava can come back and present you a steel canopy, what the steel would actually look like versus the original presentation he gave with the aluminum.
Yeah, because we
And then
approved,
you can go from that.
we approved the project based on it being,
Correct. That's why I requested the 3D rendering. And I spoke to him and I wanted him to present it to you all. So I said, this is a big project. I want the board to know what they're getting and what they're voting on, and I want them to see it. So that was the reason I requested the 3D rendering. And I remember Ms. Dodd asking, is that what it's gonna look like when we finish? And the answer was yes. So,
all right, I'm going to recommend that this is a big price tag at $219,000 upgrade when may not be needed. I'm going to recommend that we reject that and go back to, delete that from the agreement, and then get with Mr. Darrell, Mr. Salva to come with a solution. Led by us, a solution led by our team and what we expect and want.
I would ask, rather than you reject, I would ask that it be tabled, that item be tabled. That way, you're not accepting the change order, you're not changing anything. But if there's going to be a deduct of that line item, that would have to be brought back as a separate change order. So before you go to any of that, I think there would need to be.
Mike? Do we just table this if we want to discuss it later? Does this inhibit any progress from the project if we do that? Any other progress from that? It doesn't, okay.
I mean,
good.
it shouldn't. Caleb's here, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna hinder
Okay.
anything for Caleb.
Everything else. Got it. So us not moving on this tonight will not affect the rest of the project at all? Okay.
Counselor.
We may alter change order number 4 to a deduct rather than an increase, is that?
Possibly, and that's what I'm saying, to say that you're gonna reject it at this point,
No.
it's being presented to the board for consideration. If we're now looking at a possible deduct, I'd have to bring that back.
If it's gonna be altering change order number 4, then you can just table it, take no action whatsoever rather than rejection, and just go from there. I don't see.
Okay. All right, we just need a motion. We need
I'll
an
move.
approval to table.
I'll move that we
Motion by
table.
Ms. Barris, second by Ms. Dugas. All right, we take no action on this item. Next, item J, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, motion passes. Item I, review, I'm sorry. Item J, review and approve change order number 1 for the project known as Assumption High School Building repainting.
Yes, this change order is presented for you. This is, the total of the change order is $8,214.01. This covers the painting and repairs to the interior of the exterior doors in the amount of $5,482.01. It also covers, we're having to remove an existing door that goes to the back of the ROTC building that had been walled up at some point on the interior by a previous administration. So rather than sitting there and coating a door, we asked him to provide the price to credit the coating and then solid wall up where that door is now. It is not required for access or egress from the building, so we are recommending that. And then there are 2 items. Item 4 on there is the new fans and louvers on the Career Center building. There's that welding Career Center building, when you look at it, there are several large openings for venting and so forth. Those ventings are not required. Currently, they want to go with a much more smaller vent. The contractor has worked with us, and he's agreed that he can make that a no-dollar change order within the metal panel work as long as we caught it ahead of time. Finally, item 5 in there, we're going to remove that item from the change order. Right now, it is a no cost. It's a scope change from the painting of the teacher's lounge. That's the portable building behind the 2-story and so forth. It was proposed by administration that they're going to possibly remove that building and have the contractor put up a canopy set up with some bleachers and so forth. The contractor did agree to work with us on that line item and try to keep it at a $0, but before it gets approved by this board, we want to narrow down exactly what that scope is going to be and what the school board would be getting for that no-cost change order in lieu of painting the teacher's lounge. Right now, that unit item in the project is about around 50, it's right around the mid $50,000 range. So, but if he's able to vacate both of those buildings from the site, dispose of them, construct you a canopy, and we get an equal value, we see some value to that, but we want to narrow down that scope before. But it won't affect the overall bottom line of change order number 1, as it would be a $0 cost anyway. But for the time being, I do want to remove that so that I can't lock in a contractor to a scope that hasn't been identified. And lastly, number 2, when we put up the horizontal boards on the fence, they currently have a 3-inch air gap shown on the design. He needs to add a couple of boards where they want to close that gap for more privacy. Previously, it was a vertical privacy fence. From an aesthetic standpoint, we were going with a horizontal board. They do need airflow in there for the compressors and things around the cooler. However, it needs a little bit closer gap there. The cost for adding those boards would be $700. We are recommending approval of this change order.
The item 1 on there, Joseph, you said there was a deduction for the coding in there, but there's no deduct. Is that just in the cost?
He provided it he provided it within his lump sum cost because his unit item, again, the way the painting project was done, the ROTC building is an itemized, is one item of all of the buildings listed. So he provided that credit. It was only like, I think it was $100.
Okay.
It wasn't much for the coating of that one door.
Okay. All right, I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Ms. Orso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item K, review and approve change order number 1 for the project known as Assumption High School exterior door renovations.
Yes, and you'll see there are 2 doors that we found the frames are failing and
That was the mortar that you said That was the ones you were explaining where everything
Yes,
collapsed.
you have you'll have the mortar repairs. If you look down, that's item 3. But item 1 is adding back in new frames and doors for those doors that we found were extensively rotten and needed to add. And then item 2 is the deduct from what was originally scoped, which at the time was just to replace hardware and so forth on those existing doors. Now those doors we're finding out once he removed the hardware, we realized the frames they're just not able to support. So we're providing the deduct within the unit cost and then the increased added cost for the new door and frame. It is higher, but again, here you are getting a new door, frame, hardware, everything. The item 3 is the actual grouting and installation of that securing of that framing within the walls. I included photographs in my report so you could kind of see the gapping that I was talking about. That's actually on 4 door locations. It's AG 101, 102, G101, and G102. The 4th item is at the athletic field house. When we were investigating that work, the contractor was in the middle of doing the work. We noticed that over the existing utility room door, we noticed there was some deflection there. When I got into the building and was able to look up, whenever that building was originally built, there was no steel lintel or anything to support the block of that building. The bottom of that building is blocked with a timber upper structure. Well, the weight of that block is bearing fully on the door frame, and I guess over time, it's slowly starting to deflect. This is not a room that's used or occupied by people. It was pointed out. I asked the contractor to please provide a cost to repair it as we saw it. He provided a cost of $1,280.
All right, any other questions for? All right, all in favor? We took a motion. Okay, I need a motion. Sorry.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item L, discussion of facilities master plan development.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just for me, just like the board's input on organizing a committee, or maybe this is a committee of our first committee of the board to start this conversation. I do know that we have projects that we already approved that we have to complete. But we're talking about long-term, what does Assumption Parish school system look like 5 to 10 to 15 years from now? So I would like to start that work and bringing those individuals in and having those conversations. So it's just a kind of like, what direction do you want me to basically get a committee together? Or do we need to have a committee of the board and then meet every so often? I'm just open for whatever guidance, whatever discussion that we need to have tonight.
I think that's a
The floor is open.
good first step. We need to get that done before Mr. Dwayne retires too, so he could be a part of that suggestion process. Where'd he go? Did he leave? He left the room, didn't he? He left. Oh, he's right there in the front.
Mr. Hebert, don't.
Just so you can be part of the process, you know? What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Dwayne, on this? Another comprehensive move forward with looking at a total outlay, you know?
You want it, you could take it.
Yeah.
And
I don't
you
want
can
it.
run the whole show. I can focus on my academics.
Consulting basis after retirement.
So I'll talk to y'all till September 2nd. On the 3rd, my phone's going off. No, no, me and Dr. B have been speaking, and we've been talking about it for a while now. I mean, it's something that I've always, and I told him, we're not going to always be here, but when I first took over the maintenance department, there was really nothing for me to go on except for my years of knowledge. Knowing that I wasn't going to be in the position very long, we started creating things in the department so the next person comes in, even though they may not agree with what I was doing and the path I was taking, they could see where I was going, and if they wanted to venture off of that path, at least they had an understanding of what had been done, what my plans were moving forward, and they can build off of that. I mean, for me to control everything for the district, it makes no sense because everybody has a different vision. You know, I mean, we always have a high school. Is the plan to ever build a brand new high school, or is the plan just to keep renovating this high school? You know, so those kind of things came up in conversation. I brought them to Dr. Bartholomew. He's like, well, let's create a master plan. So that'd be a great idea. How we get to that and how we develop that plan. I mean, of course, there's going to be a lot. I had my ideas about Libertyville. We had different ideas about Libertyville. Understand that, not offended by it at all, but those are the reasons you got to involve more people in the conversation to see what everybody's thought is in it and what each community needs moving forward. So, I mean, whatever way we needed to get there and develop that, I just think it's a great idea to start doing it,
Yeah, I think
Agreed, but again, you're gonna have a new maintenance supervisor in less time than that, so that's why I started in my department to build that, so when they come in, they had an idea of what was going on. I've been here 30 years. And everything we've been doing in 30 years is, well, we need to do this, we have a lot of things we need to do, but like I told Dr. Bartholomew, if we set a stage for where we wanna be, then we have goals to attack, so.
Well, and what's important is, we back this with data. We're not just shooting from the hip and just saying, hey, this is what we want to do. What does the data say?
Correct.
From a census standpoint, from a facility standpoint, the current facilities we have, you really have to look at this from an analytical standpoint and then plan out. Kind of like something what we did when we had a discussion early on 2 years ago about, what the schools should look like. We went out into the community. We went and looked at census data. We went and looked at facilities. So it's going to take this, it's going to be very encompassing of a lot as far as data is concerned, but it's needed. Because if not, we're going to continue to patch here, patch there, and then we're not really creating a good plan to move forward. And we're putting money into buildings that we may not even need.
And I would like to say this because I know some work was done in the past, and I honestly and wholeheartedly believe that it should be done by members of the school district. I don't think that we should hire an outside, and this is my opinion, I don't think we should hire an outside firm to come tell us what we need in our schools and in our district and for their thoughts and ideas, or hire a firm or engineer or consultant of anybody, because to me, dollars and cents get twisted when you do that, because if you pay in, there's companies that do it by percentage of design and what we need. I mean, do you call the neighbors when you need something at home? You know what you need at home. I mean, we don't invite the neighbors over to decide what we need at home. So I think that we should do it in-house, and then if we need a guidance on bigger projects or something later on, then we reach out for that. But I do really believe that it should be something, committees in each community maybe saying what they want in their community and then their thoughts, and then build, like Dr. Pathology, back that with data and just come together and see what projects will be done first and how you're going to stage everything to accomplish your goals.
That's right. Yeah, the visioning, ideation, that process should definitely be homegrown. And then once we put plan to paper and, start to put budgetary guidelines on that, then we get people involved that can price it, you get more people
And things are
involved in
going to
that
change. I mean, storms come in, you may have a project that you want to do in 5 years where a storm may come in and damage the school and say, hey, look, we're already doing all the storm damage. Let's just pick this project up, add this funds into the storm damage and recovery, and just finish it out as we're doing it. So I mean, you're going to have those types of things too that's going to factor in. I mean, we can't control everything, so.
Yep. Yeah, I think we take the same approach with this as we have the last 2 years on a comprehensive approach to each project instead of piecemealing and patchwork that we're fixing now, where we see, holes and patchwork in everything that we look at. It's just like we did this one piece of something.
And
but we didn't
projects
look
should
at
be
everything.
designed so we're not going back to projects.
That's right.
We have too many projects that we're doing again now. That was done 15, 20 years ago because we didn't do them right the first time. Let's just do them right. Dr. Bartholomew got to say, let's do one and done. Let's be finished with it, move on to the next one. So we not just keep circling back into the same, area, repairing stuff that we already repaired because we didn't repair it properly the first time.
Or hold people accountable. That's it,
That's a
which is
big
another
factor.
piece. Yeah, there we go.
So,
All right, y'all have any questions? Any more discussion on this item? I think we just tasked the superintendent with developing a committee based on, with the board's participation, with our administration participation, with community members that are versed in development, commercial development, ideation, people with good ideas, good heads on their shoulders to get it done. Yep. All right. Next section, thank you, Mr. Twain.
Thank you.
Next section, 8, comments and announcements.
I have an announcement. I would like to announce that Mrs. Jessica Thibodeau will be taking on the role of interim Chief Financial Officer for Assumption Parish School System. Yeah, y'all could give her a round of applause. Has served Assumption Parish School System well. She is dedicated to improving our system. She comes to work every single day and work extremely hard. So we're very proud. And she actually, we had conversations about it, and she was like, you know what needs to be done for the district? It wasn't about her, it wasn't about me, it was about what needs to be done for the district. And I'm very, very pleased to make this announcement, and I know that she's going to serve Assumption Parish well. So thank you, Ms. Thibodeau, for stepping up. Also, I would like to announce Ms. Miyoshi will be taking on some responsibility, working with Ms. Thibodeau as well, because we know that Ms. Thibodeau have a big job in front of her. We're getting ready to get into auditing season, and we also getting ready to get into AFR. So it's a lot. And Ms. Miyoshi, I really appreciate you as well for stepping up and saying, hey, whatever needs to be done, I'm willing to help as well. So we have some really great people working in the parish and working in our system who's willing to do whatever needs to be done for our system. So again, thank you, Ms. Thibodeau. Thank you, Ms. Miyoshi.
Any other announcements, comments? All right, I need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Ms. Dugas, second by Ms. Orso.